Here we are, it is premiere day. Season 2 is about to begin. As you can see, radio stations behind us. We're about to go in. We're going to talk all things Aussie Snake Wranglers. It's going to be an unbelievable day. Let's go.
Brother, how you doing?
What's going on, boys? So tonight, our next guest is none other than Stewie from the Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers, also known as Snake Wrangler Extraordinaire. As Aussie Snake Wranglers is back on the box tonight, Jody, and Stewie joins us again. Good morning, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. Good morning, team. Morning, Jade.
Good morning. I'm just going to say it. I was a little bit petrified that you might bring snakes in with you today. So glad you left them at home.
Have you got the snake curve?
Yes.
No snakes today, so it's just me on my lonesome.
We had an olive python last time, didn't we?
Yeah, big one.
And beautiful, beautiful animal. I understand everybody's fear of something that they don't know about, and that we're just talking fears here a moment ago. And I think we also discussed off air the concept that people are scared of the unknown. Yep. I think everyone should meet a snake.
100%.
In a safe environment.
Yeah, and it's one thing, which I didn't even think we were going to talk about this, but I think it's something good to bring up, is we're actually going to do a bit of surveying this year through my business and actually asking people why they fear snakes. Because I think it either comes down, in my experience, to an incident when they were young, or it's a generational thing.
Yep.
So their dad or mum's like, no, the only good snake's a dead snake.
Yep.
Or, you know, we kill snakes and all this sort of stuff. I think that's where it comes from. But it'd actually be interesting to do a lot of surveying on it and just to find out if people actually grew up with around snakes or going to zoos as they were young and getting a snake around your shoulders in those...
Developing an appreciation.
Yeah, the fear would just go.
I totally agree.
And they're sometimes portrayed as a bit of a villain in like kids...
100%.
You know, Disney films
Harry
and all those
Potter's
sorts
got
of
a
things.
lot to answer for. Harry.
But do you think it's also the element of surprise? And because people call you out when, you know, you discover a snake where it's not meant to be. On your bed or in your kitchen, and it's like, because...
And like 100%, my videos probably don't help either, but you know, we've got a business to run, but at the same time we're trying to educate, but also show to people that these snakes can be dangerous, but they're only dangerous if you mess with them. So it chases on.
They're fast too.
Yeah, so fast.
Righto, legend. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Stu from the Aussie Snake Wranglers, back on the box tonight, National Geographic channel. Make sure you stream it and get amongst it, and love our local talent. You're Sam Ash, here at Hot 91.
Legends.
Yay, team.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, there we go. So one interview down with Sam and Ash, Jade filling in. Next we're going to Mix of M with Mark and Caroline. Let's do it.
Jess, it's Cook Caroline.
Hello, how are you?
It's 8:07, Mark and Caroline for breakfast. Thanks to Crick's Volkswagen. Test drive and order the T-Cross, the small SUV. Check it out today. It's all about the roads in the 9 at 9 this morning. Copperhead Road will kick things off from Steve Earle. It's pretty much the redneck anthem, isn't it? Nashville Teens and Tobacco Road.
Right.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
We'll give you a little sample of that after 9 as well. Penny Lane from the Beatles, Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street. All the street names are there. Very happy to say Stu from Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers is in the studio. Stu, thank you for your wonderful snaky videos.
Good morning, everybody.
You put out on Facebook day in, day out.
What are you going to show here?
Every single day.
Every
there's
day.
Another snake. Now, Caroline, this is the one that just blew me away from a couple of weeks ago. Now, I haven't hit play on the video yet, and I'm going to play the video to Caroline. I'm pretty sure she hasn't seen it. What's about to happen is that's a small wheelie bin. You can see that's only about...
It's one of the little ones.
It's like a little wheelie bin. It's not a big one.
Yep.
And you save a fortune with your council rates,
Yes,
by the way.
that's right.
But who'd have thought that this monster could be hiding underneath? Have a look at this.
Oh, jeez, that's disgusting.
So that ended up being about a 3 metre python,
Huge.
Stu.
It was, and I was there with Westy, and I remember that's a genuine reaction. Like,
Yeah,
none of that's acting. Like when we lifted it up,
I had to stop it because there's swearsies in there.
yeah, there was a little bit of swearing, but there was these old ducks there, and they're like, "Oh, this snake's huge. It's from here to here." We're like, "Whatever." You know, usually when people say that, you halve it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We lifted that, and we're like, "You guys were bang on. It is huge."
That was like a 3 metre
Oh,
monster.
and it was like thick.
And where was that?
Namble. Yeah,
Right,
Namble. Was
okay.
that like a retirement sort of
Do you
village?
know what, you people, of course, rack off Brad Leslie. Someone has just, it's a friend of mine who's working on a roof this morning. He's
Oh, no.
from Sunshine Coast Roof Revamped. He's just pulled that out of a roof this morning.
Show me. Snakies love a nice, warm, toasty roof. Oh, he's not too bad. He's only about, what, 5 foot?
Little carpet python.
Yeah. But they get so large. That snake that I just showed you, Caroline, what made me laugh, if you watch that video to the end, Stu comes in to try and put him in the bag. The bag's not big enough.
Yeah, I brought a pillowcase over, thinking
right.
that, it'll just fit in a pillowcase.
This lady doesn't know what she's talking about.
And I walked over and there was absolutely no way I was going to fit in there.
All right, I've got questions because my daughter and her partner have just moved back from the UK. He's British, and he is mentioning snakes all the time. Like, he's like, I'm trying not to get killed here. And I said, he goes, do you want me to do any jobs? And I said, yeah, maybe we'll weed the front garden. He goes, will I die if I weed your front garden?
But
what do you think? What's the situation?
I think the problem is people overseas think that everything you do here in Australia is an extreme sport because the animals are going to kill you. But no, it's not the case. Like, snakes are terrified of us. They're not waiting in your garden for you to put your fingers in and bite you every time. There is a small chance that if you stumble across one that potentially, there'll be an interaction there, but very, very unlikely.
So if I was going to weed, this is what my dad told us to do, because I'm from WA. We were dealing with dugats and tiger snakes.
Yep.
So that's why I'm so scared of them, because my dad was just constantly like, you stomp and you run, because he was scared we'd actually be bitten and die. And it does stomping work?
Snakes don't have ears, so you can yell and scream at them all you like, but they do feel vibrations, so I guess that's where the stompings come from. And that's where I think the fears come from with snakes, is the fact that it's mainly a generational thing, and it's something this year that we're actually looking to ask a lot of our clients, because we catch heaps of snakes every day and meet people who are absolutely terrified, even more scared than you, Caroline. But I'm going to start actually asking them, why are you scared? And I can nearly guarantee it'll come down to generational things, and mum or dad have basically told them that to be scared, or an experience that they had when they were young, or even when they're in their teens or whatever, which since then have just been terrified.
Well, look, we've been lucky enough to spend time at Australia Zoo. I've also been lucky enough to spend time in a Townsville, very similar zoo, and they show me a lot about red bellies and how the venomous snakes on the ground need to be more defensive, don't they? Because they're
100%.
literally on the ground. Whereas the carpet snakes tend to be in your roof or in the trees, so they're a lot more relaxed because they just don't get picked on like a red belly gets stepped on, right?
Yeah, sure.
So that's the thing. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, that's it. I just want to go back. You didn't answer. Does stomping work or not?
Well, I don't think you need to stomp around like an elephant in your backyard and you're entertaining for the neighbours, but no. You can just imagine looking over and Caroline's in their garden and she's like, oh my goodness, stomp. But no, I don't think you need to be stomping around. Even just you walking, they're going to feel that.
That'll be enough.
Caroline does garden naked as well. I'm not sure if that's going to help.
Well, I don't know. I was going to say it might scare them, but it might not.
Can I suggest this to you though, Caroline? This is what I do, and I do this because I've got 2 dumb terrier puppies that are 8 and still don't know to stay away from cane toads, snakes, lizards, everything. They just go everything. You know what I'm talking about, Stu.
Yeah.
So I get a garden rake, standard plastic garden rake, and I go around my yard and I do a quick sweep when I let them out. So I just poke in all the edges and all that sort of stuff. Is there any method in that madness? Is that working for me to be able to have a good check before I let my dogs run wild?
I think maybe I think it's more just mentally helping you, I guess, in terms of and it's just like the vibrating things, they don't work. People stick those in your backyard and they reckon they work, but they don't. And I think it's definitely plausible. The fact that rustling up may scare anything out, but at the same time, rustling something could make it go deeper in there and hide. So,
my theory is that if something.
It's so unlikely. No, it's so unlikely you're going to encounter a snake and that sort of thing. You're more likely to get hit by a car, So I think just go about your life. If you have an interaction, it's more about what you do in that moment, and not do anything stupid, and just walk away. That's it. Grab your dogs. I have so many people say to me, "Oh, I went and grabbed a shovel, or I went and tried to move the snake myself because I was protecting my dogs." Like, the way you protect your dogs is just grab them, chuck them inside. Yeah. It's so simple. Yeah. But I think people just sort of think, "Oh, this snake's going to come after him," when it's not. Yeah. So it's just more about removing yourself and your pets, kids from the danger.
That's why I got the garden rake, because my dogs are scared of the garden rake.
Oh, there you go.
So if I see a snake, I can shoo the dog, and at the same time, if the snake does come out, I can just sort of back away. That's my whole theory. That's honestly.
And you're getting pretty busy? Like, the snakes are slithering?
Yeah, starting to. It's actually been a little bit slower because it's so cold here still. Like, I put a jumper on this morning. Like, it's like 3 or 4 degrees cooler than last year. Like, I think last year was just insane. with in terms of how quickly the snake season took off.
Yeah.
It's certainly busy. Like, we're getting a heap of calls every day at the moment. I think today will be another busier day. Actually, Kurt's out there answering phone calls at the moment. But yeah, certainly snakes are on the move. It's breeding season, so males are fighting each other though, and females obviously trying to get away from the boys. They're chasing after them, and it's all a bit crazy this time of year, just because usually snakes are very solitary. They keep to the edges of your garden and stuff like that. Whereas during breeding season, that's when they'll cruise through the middle and don't care, because they're after
something.
Yeah, especially the blokes. They'll just cruise through the middle of your yard, doesn't care who's there. Usually they're scared of you, you know what I mean?
And so why does he's on a mission? Can he smell someone somewhere? Or how's he finding his girl?
Yeah, so they'll actually release sort of pheromones and stuff. And I'll tell a quick story. We had a snake call-outs last year in Budrum, where this poor bloke had a female on his deck. The following 2 weeks, had 5 other males come in and just sit in that same spot. He thought it was the same snake coming back, but it was a different snake every time, just because that female must have left such a smell or a scent that over the next week or two, he had 5 snakes.
And they never got hurt?
No. No, never got her, because I released her first. I took her away, so all these blokes are coming in for nothing.
Oh, wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's how long the smell lasts.
Yeah.
And for all of this conversation, what we've established is that Ben can weed my garden this weekend.
Yes.
With clothes on. Hey, is this little one here that you found in an office, Caroline?
Yeah, in an office.
Highly venomous snake in an office. Is that a whip snake? That little tiny skinny guy?
No, that's an Eastern Brown. Second most venomous snake in the world.
So he's a baby Eastern Brown, because they get a lot bigger than that, don't they?
Yeah, he's bigger. But as you can see, he's jumping around and all that sort of stuff. He's just terrified. You know, he's cornered. He has no idea where he can go, how to get away.
Why is he there? Why did he think that was a good place to be?
I think with offices, houses, anything, a snake will go along a wall and it'll get to a door, and if there's a gap, the snake doesn't know that that's inside. It just goes in there looking for food and shelter. So they're not coming inside on purpose, but they just occasionally do.
I'm often yelling at everyone, especially in the summertime, to shut all the doors because of, they just wander in. The other thing is, does mowing and pruning and gardening and weeding and all those things, do the big engines on my mower scare off snakes? Does keeping the grass low scare off snakes? Is that helping?
Yeah, 100%. So if you keep your garden maintained, gaps between plants, lawns mowed, all of that helps. Even that movement and stuff will potentially scare snakes off. But we go to so many houses and we walk in, they're like, oh, why do we have snakes? And I look in their yard and it's like Budrum rainforest. So it's like, that's why. There's food, shelter and water. If you can reduce those 3, then you'll go a long way to snakes just cruising through and leaving.
And the other myth, if you've got blue-tongue lizards, does that mean you don't have snakes?
No. So some snakes can actually eat blueies. So there's so many
I've definitely
myths
got,
out there.
I've definitely got both. I've definitely got both.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, there's so many myths out there. Like we've heard, like red bellies will keep browns away, but that came from the fact that a large red belly could eat a smaller brown.
Sure.
But the opposite can happen as well. So a big brown snake could eat a small red belly. So, yeah, I reckon anything that you hear out there, if it doesn't come from a snake catcher or a professional, it's probably a myth.
All right, I don't know why I get you in here.
You've really calmed Caroline down.
I can tell.
I'm just like, hey, but you know what? I know why I got you in here. Your TV show's on tonight.
Yes.
Where can people watch it?
Yeah, so Aussie Snake Wranglers premieres tonight, season 2 on National Geographic, like Foxtel. And exciting times, 12 episodes. I think they're playing one a week every Tuesday at 8:30.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Congratulations, Stu, and look, to all your crew as well, because I know you've just got a brilliant crew, because they work and they're sort of on call, aren't they? They go and do their other lives, and then they turn up like superheroes to save around from the snake, right?
Put the uniform on, and a few of them still working for me quite often, and we've got a big team now, and we've got people on snake calls as we speak, so it's going crazy.
Yeah, if you could just go home with Caroline,
just stomp around for me.
Just sit in her front yard. If you could just sit in her front yard and wait.
Oh, we need to get some footage of that. Just Caroline stomping around the yard.
Yeah. Stu, thanks for coming in, mate. Look, check it all out. Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers on your socials, on Facebook, and of course tonight you'll check it out, Nat Geo on Foxtel, for a bit of Aussie Snake Wranglers. 18 past 8. You're not doing much for international tourism, but that's okay. It's Mix FM.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you. What a day it's been. The radio interviews went really, really well. Thanks again to Mix FM, CFM and Hot 91. We've been catching snakes all day. The premiere's gone up, first episode. My goodness, everything's happening. Thanks so much for watching, team.